Hi, my name is Jason Eldred, and this video exists to explain my Hamlet visual novel proof of concept project that I've been working on for the last 4 months. Um, so if you have the files, go ahead and extract them from the .zip and place them in a folder, like so. And then you're just going to want to go ahead and click on, let's see, the exe. Um, just double click, more or less like you would expect out of Windows. You should get a nice little Unity, how do you want to play this game box, like so. Windowed mode and 1280 by 720 is my suggestion. You can theoretically run it without windowed if you hit escape to quit when you're done. But it's probably better to run it in windowed at this point. That's what I've been aiming for. So you're going to want to go ahead and run that. You should get a nice little box like this. If you don't, there will also be a web version provided, although not all of the features work quite the same way in the web version. So this is your starting screen. I've got some instructions placed over here, and everything may look a little bit confusing at first. So this is the primary text box on the left. Just whenever you click, text appears there. And I do have audio for this, which hopefully won't come through the microphone too bad. But you can see right here you've got the character name, 4 lines, 5 lines, more of Shakespearean text. If a character's speech, if one character's talking goes over that, it'll drop below the line down here, and you just go ahead and use your scroll wheel if you have one. Hopefully you have one to scroll down there if you like, or it'll automatically scroll as the recorded audio of the character speaking goes along. You may see on the right here we've got line numbers, and some of these line numbers have a little asterisk, like this 3. If you go ahead and mouse over that asterisk, boom, footnote in a footnote box. This one, convoy, means of transport. It's intended to help you understand individual words or sometimes larger puns and things in the text that you, not knowing Old English, if you don't, go around speaking like that, might not immediately understand at first. Now, so this footnote box is great, but maybe you don't always want it here. If you want to get past, want it to go away, just go ahead and click, mouse over my little proto William Shakespeare here. I did not commission him. He is from DeviantArt and half from DeviantArt, half made myself, and hopefully I'll be able to commission a little Bill Shakespeare coming up. But so you may have noticed if you mouse over Bill over here, we get, well, first of all, we always have provided, except one footnote, in our default box on the right, the menu box, and when you mouse over him, you've always got act, scene, and the line numbers quickly available for reference. Eventually, I would love for you to just be able to type in which line's there. If you wanted to scrub through the play, type in act and scene. But right now it's just a readout. You have your information of all the things you can do in the menu, or if you're anytime you mouse over Bill over here, you'll get a nice little selection of buttons. Now, most of the buttons don't currently work. That was sort of a time constraint thing. The pause does work, though. So if the audio is playing, you can go ahead and click this pause button, which is a toggle, to toggle it on and off. There's a bug where that doesn't work if there's only one line or if you're on the last line, but during some of these larger bricks of text, that'll certainly work. You can also go ahead and right-click. Right-clicking will similarly toggle the pause of the text, and I'll get a little bit more into that in a second. The rest of the buttons are just really to have a menu here and sort of to explain what I would want to do later. A save feature, a load feature, probably with a pop-up menu. A toggle between Old English and Modern English, which right now there's a button that doesn't work, but if you go ahead and press space, There's also a cheat sheet for all of these things here as your default screen on the menu screen. Originally, I had their location and other ambient information that you might like to know while reading the play, but I decided in this specific instance, for the proof of concept, it was better to have a manual quickly available right there. So if you go ahead and press space, what you get instead over here is the No Fear Shakespeare Spark Notes translation of that Shakespearean English. And it doesn't break up exactly line for line the same way, but it's that speech. Instead of my necessaries are embarked, you get my belongings are the ship already. And you get that easy to understand quick toggle anytime you want to understand that. That should be helpful. This does not have footnotes because there are no footnotes for the modern English, although the box still shows up, which is another thing to work on later. So let's move on to the next words, to the next couple of lines. One line here, nothing much to see. This line has a lot of footnotes, and you can sort of see all of the different ways of priming or perfume and supplements. These are basically just straight translations. There are occasionally much larger notes, like about puns, that don't necessarily correspond to an exact thing. Here's where we get interesting. So this speech for this character is very large. You may be able to see here, or when you play your own version of the game, I have a little marker that scrolls down as the text scrolls up to show you exactly which line you're on. Right-clicking will pause the scrolling, the audio, all of it, and you can see here that sometimes there's 2 footnotes on the right, which was actually quite fun to implement. So if you go ahead and pause it like that, you can take your time, read the footnote, and then just right-click again or click this little toggle to resume. Now, as there's too much text to fit in this box, allowing you to use your scroll wheel makes a lot of sense. You need to be able to get other places for this text. So if you just go ahead and scroll wheel, the speech and the text automatically pauses its scrolling, so that you can track back, you can reread something, and then if you right-click again, it jumps back to where it was. You can also do that just by pausing and then moving and then right-clicking. It'll always jump back and start the process again. The speed of the scrolling scales based on how long it takes the character to say that specific line. The audio track I'm using is from the YouTubes. No, this one is from... Yes, this one is from YouTube. But I hope to eventually voice over it myself or direct it myself. Maybe get some actors to help me record it. And then you can of course listen to the entire line, or like me, who's seen it already 100 times, just sort of skip through it at your own reading speed. But I invite you to stay and listen to the actors reading it. Oh, importantly, up here, their expressions. I suppose I should talk about, hey, characters enter and exit. There's a very extreme bug that if you click through the entire play in like 10 seconds, he won't enter. The other players need to finish entering before him. But otherwise, that was a fun thing to learn to code and do. Their expressions, if you'll watch, do change. I've created basic sprite sheets for them. And that's, yeah. The other thing that happens, 2 things that happen. He exits, the scenery changes, and finally, when you end the game, if you're playing in an application window instead of online, after they leave, the game should... credits. Press space to see more credits. And yep, the game should quit itself at the end. I hope to put it on Kickstarter in the coming months and get it Steam greenlit, and that's my application video. Thank you for watching.